Hello, my name is Paul Cobb, Life Scout with Troop 72 in Fairborn, Ohio, and sponsored by the First Presbyterian Church. We are here today to interview Mr. Knepp for an Eagle Scout project that is in association with the Fairborn Veterans Memorial Project and the Veterans Voices Project located on the campus of Wright State University. Would you please introduce yourself to the viewing audience?
Hi, my name's Kevin Knepp. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran, and I live in Fairborn. I guess we'll just move on from there.
Where and when were you born?
I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, 1956.
Did you have any siblings that served or were serving in the military?
Siblings. No, my brother went in after me in the Army. My father was in the Army, 1950 or 52 or so.
So, what were you doing before you entered into the military service?
I signed a dotted line in January while I was still in high school on what they called a delayed enlistment program, and I got to enlist for 6 years, and I got to a preference in what my training would be because I was going to be for 6 years. Also, when I was going to sign up for 6 years, I would get a second strike directly out of basic training. So I was still in high school when I signed up.
What specialized training did you receive when you more or less enlisted yourself in?
Of course, I had at the time basic training was just 6 weeks in the Air Force, and then after that I had a 36-week technical school for an electromechanical communications and cryptographic systems repairman. Its code, or AFSC, was 306X1. So it had to do with some what we call digital subscriber terminal equipment, which was communications equipment, cryptographic systems equipment, modems, and that included card punches, tape punches, typing interface, a common control unit, tape readers, tape punches, the whole gambit of a communication system for messages within a comm squadron.
Did you serve during any time of war?
I'm considered a Vietnam-era veteran, but I did not serve technically in the war. I did not get the National Defense Ribbon. National Defense Ribbon cutoff, I think, was August 14th, and my actual joining date of becoming active was August 26th. So therefore, I'm a Vietnam-era veteran because that went until April of 1975. But as far as National Defense Ribbon are being considered to have served in a war, but that time frame does allow me to be a member of the American Legion. So I'm right on the borderline, but no, I've never served in a wartime situation.
And around during this time, where did you serve?
I had a year of training in Texas, basically almost a full year. And then I had 2.5 years in Colorado Springs stationed at Peterson Air Force Base, and actually worked at NORAD Combat Operations Center, which is Cheyenne Mountain, 1.5 miles deep inside of a granite mountain, protecting the country from nuclear war. Our communications equipment was used for mostly secret and top secret messages in the Air Force Special Security Office, and had to have a very high clearance to work there, and even then I couldn't see or hear or touch everything. Very interesting scenario. Then after that I spent 2.5 years in Hawaii, so I've had very good duty stations of being in Colorado and Hawaii, quite different areas. While in Hawaii, I spent a month in Korea for a Team Spirit 76 training exercise in Korea, and I also spent 30 days on Johnston Atoll, a little island 1/2 mile wide, 2 miles long, First thing they give you when you get off the airplane is a gas mask. It's where they stored Agent Orange and were destroying it at the time I was there.
Would you tell us about any special friendships that were formed during your service time?
You know, while you're going through training, you're there for 9 months, and I made some pretty good friends then. Nothing that lasted for me, quite honestly. But while we were serving together, we had a lot of friends that when I was in at Peterson Air Force Base. I lived in a dormitory. I had a bunch of very good friends, but nothing that lasted.
How was communication between your family during your service time?
And until I got married in Hawaii in 1979, which was about a year before I got out, didn't have emails to send, didn't have text messages to send, didn't have cell phones to send. It was mostly the good old-fashioned telephones, either putting quarters in the phone, or once in a while we could get some free time through the Air Force switchboard. I happened to know someone who worked on the switchboard, like when I was at Cheyenne Mountain, and I could make a few phone calls during that time. Other than that, it was pen and pencil, letters home, letters from home, always encouraged and welcome, and care packages usually around some holidays. So.
What did you do for recreation during off-duty time?
When we were in Colorado, we did a lot of camping and fishing. And when we were in Hawaii, we did a lot of time snorkeling, swimming, hanging out on the beach. Did some camping again. Just kind of shifted environments. Whatever you could do while you were there, you did. So snorkeling, swimming. I wasn't a surfer, but still spent a lot of time on the beach.
How are you welcomed home by your family, friends, and community after serving?
It was just kind of nonchalant. At the time when I got out, I was actually married, so I was kind of creating my own family. My wife was pregnant. Just went home to visit my parents, and then we shifted gears and moved here to Ohio, where my wife was from. She was also in the service, and that's how I got to be in Ohio from Baltimore.
So how did you readjust to everyday life after returning from service?
It was pretty easy for me. I went to a job fair while I was in Hawaii. Someone was looking for a computer repair technician in Ohio, and once they found out that I wanted to go to Ohio, in the area I wanted to go to Ohio, it was like, bam! Kind of just really lucky, perchance, but you know, I used the tools that were available: job fairs, resumes, good preparation, had a good career field with good training that I was in. So my transition into the civilian life and actually having a job was pretty good. I was very lucky.
What are some life lessons you learned from your military service?
Probably a lot of that had to do with, I had very good supervisors in both places, actually all three places. I had good supervisors and a good drill sergeant while I was at tech school. Because I was going to be there for 32 weeks, I immediately became what they call a Red Rope, which was a squadron leader. When I was at Cheyenne Mountain, I had a tech sergeant there, David Gaynor, who was just a supervisor. And then when I moved to Hawaii, I had a Sergeant Nowacki that was a very good supervisor. So I think what I learned most from that was it was kind of like a new Air Force at the time, and I learned a lot about how to treat people. You would think that there would be a lot of command structure and command structure. It wasn't like the Army or the Marines or anything like that. The Air Force was kind of different. I wasn't in a combat squadron with fighter airplanes. It was a more of an office and technical environment. So what I got from that, mostly from being with supervisors, with good supervisors, is how to deal with people. I mean, when you deal with different airmen coming and going, and technical training, and watching and making sure everybody's training and progressing, and you're training and progressing, and I trained and progressed, and then I became a trainer and trained people. So it was more about a constant learning thing, and so it was like there you begin to learn that you never stop learning. I think when I was in the Air Force, I learned that you never stop learning. You're always learning something new every day.
Mm-hmm. And what message would you like to leave for future generations who will view or hear this interview?
I think serving your country and joining the military is a great way to start. It can be a great career. It depends on your family and environment. The only thing I encourage is when you're out that you try to join a military organization like American Legion, Veterans of Foreign War, maybe the Purple Heart Association. You can kind of reconnect and stay in touch with those people. Plus, these organizations really protect the rights of veterans. I think the biggest reason why I joined, even before I became active in the American Legion, was to have a voice and a say in what the government does and how it treats and the benefits it gives to the veterans, because they're really threatened. And I think it's a great training place. It's a great stepping stone to practically anything in life. And you can, many enlisted people become officers and make it a career, or some people start off in college and get into the military. I think the military gives you a great way of life to start your life and to serve your country. It's just it encompasses so many different things.
Well, thank you for letting me interview and having this time with you today.
Great. Happy to do it. And good luck on your Eagle project.
Thank you.